Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to go through movement breaks. So these are not breaks for movement, but taking a break and moving. So as requested, following up on our last video, we're going to show you some things that you can implement into your daily life, especially if you're working from home or even if you're working in your office. So this is not a set routine. These are just some things that we think are important. So it's not about training, it's about moving. So we always suggest doing full body cars, but because this would just be too much for the entire video, we will just link our morning routine in which we go through the entire cars routine, so top to bottom. And today we will just show you, or in this video we will just show you the three most important, not most important, but the three cars for the body parts that are most affected in daily life from sitting. So we will show you spinal segmentation, thoracic spine cars, and hip cars, and then we will show you some other things to target especially these areas that are most affected. Okay, so we're going to start with thoracic spine cars. I'm going to explain it, Jan's going to show it. So we want to start in a standing position, it's the easiest way, and then just give yourself a good hug. Yes, so from here, since it's about movement and not training, just lightly squeeze your abs and your glutes, and then just go into flexion as much as you can until you feel like you've reached your belly button area. So this is how far you want to go into flexion. So to avoid bending at the hips, you only want to go as far as you feel like you've reached your belly button, so really slight flexion. And then from here, you're going to go into rotation. So right shoulder is going back, left shoulder is coming forward, and from there you're going to go into lateral flexion. So right shoulder down, left shoulder up, and then go into extension. So keep your abs or your stomach slightly engaged, and then go into extension. Think of chest up towards the ceiling without extending in the lumbar spine. Okay, so glutes are still engaged. And then just go into lateral flexion. Can you just turn around here? Onto the other side, so lateral flexion, and then you rotate again, so the right arm or shoulder is coming forward, and then you find full flexion again. And then you can reverse the whole thing, so you go clockwise and counterclockwise. Next, we're going to go hip cars. So Jan's going to show it to us again. He can just hold on to me or onto the wall. You just want to make sure that you hold on to something because you don't want to rely on your balance since it's only movement. Even though we're only trying to focus on moving the hip, we still want to avoid compensation. So holding on to something can really help with that. So again, brace yourself just slightly and then bring your leg up into as much bent leg hip flexion as you can without just like really going into lumbar flexion or extension or these kind of things. Okay, so really try to keep and maintain that tension. So bring your leg up, and then from here go into lateral flexion. So just open up the hip without opening up the entire torso. Okay, so or pelvis. So just really try to open up that side, and then go into abduction, into rotation, knee drives down, heel drives up. Maintain that tension, extension, and then use your glutes to drive back into hip extension. Keep your core engaged, and then drive back into external rotation. Heel comes down, knee drives up into bent leg hip flexion. Again, since it's only about movement, do 2, 3, 4 repetitions, as many as you like, but try to maintain the tension. So it's still quality over quantity, so 10 reps is not necessarily better than 3 if you really try to go through full range of motion in the 3 and then do whatever in the 10. So really just try to focus on the quality of the movement.
And again, I made it really strict and slow and controlled.
Yeah.
It should not be like a hard training session, right? Remember, it's a movement break. It's only about moving your joint through its full range of motion, through its greatest range of motion, and that's all about it.
Yeah, but you still don't want to look like this.
Of course.
So you rather do 3 or 4 nice, slow, controlled repetitions without much effort or without too much effort instead of 10 sloppy ones. Right. Okay, so we'll go to the spine. So we can do spinal segmentation, or you could do something like spinal waves. Both are great and both target the spine to make sure you're moving it and are not in that one position stuck the entire day.
Next up, spinal waves. We're gonna do it also in a standing position, and we have these two variations for you that you can play with and implement into your movement break. So the first one is we start in the standing position and we roll our spine down from the cervical spine. So roll down, chin on the chest, thoracic spine, then TL junction, then lumbar spine, and you're fully flexed down. So turn around a little bit. Nice. So when you reach this position, start with your cervical spine first. So extend the cervical spine, then try to extend the thoracic spine, then the TL junction, then the lumbar spine, and slowly come up, push the hips forward, and go down again with your chin, your chest, and complete the spinal waves. This is now very slow. You can flow around a little bit, do it a little bit faster, but still trying to think of controlling and feeling your spine from your cervical spine down to your lumbar spine. Second variation is a little bit different. We go down the same way, but instead of focusing on the cervical spine going up first, we want to go a little bit in dorsiflexion and start to push our hips forward. And now the lumbar spine, TL junction, thoracic spine, and cervical spine comes in extension up. So you see the difference if she's repeating that again. Down, you keep the flexion. First comes the hip, then lumbar extension, and then everything else extends. Okay, so these are the two variations you can play with, and it's such a good way to get the spine more moving throughout the day.
And in the morning routine that we tagged for you to just see the full body cards, we also have spinal segmentation in a quadruped position to really target every single segment of the spine.
Nice.
Okay, so now we come to the second part, and we're going to do some movements, some flows, some stretches, these kind of things. Again, these are just suggestions. You don't have to do all of them. Just do what feels good. So we're going to start with like a lunge variation, in which we're targeting the inner thigh and a stretch in the hip flexors. So working on hip extension and hip abduction. So we want to start in a lunge position basically. And you just want to drop down into your lunge. And then from there, think of slightly engaging the glutes and pushing forward, keeping a straight line here without bending at the hips. So now you should feel a nice stretch right here. Then you just come back, stand back up, and then you rotate, so you're in a lateral lunge. And then from there, you're gonna go and target the same leg again. So you go onto the left side into a lateral squat or Cossack squat as deep as you can and feel comfortable. Nice stretch right here in the inner thighs. Come back up, and then other side. So you rotate again, do your lunge, come forward, feel the stretch, intensify the stretch. Reach back, stand back up, lateral squat or lateral lunge. Feel the stretch, stay there, come back up. And then you can just repeat that for as many times as you want. You can even just do 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. This is just a little complex in which you can just work your lower body in different ranges of motion. Good.
Nice. So next up, we have another opener for the thoracic spine, but also for your shoulders, right? You're most likely, if you are in a sedentary position, most likely here like that, flexed spine, protracted scapulas. I want to open up that whole section. So very nice stretch just to open everything up is the T-spine opener here on the wall. So you're just using the wall here. Around this far away from the wall, she's standing. Then with your hand, go as far up as you feel comfortable, and then bend through the thoracic spine, really let it drop, and you get a nice deep stretch here in your lats, the thoracic spine, and opens up shoulder flexion. So that's a very nice way to open up this upper body from the flex position all the time throughout the day. So you can do that just for 30 seconds, and you can repeat that for 2 or 3 sets just to feel good, right?
Yeah, or even just sprinkle it into your day. Like
Exactly.
last time we said in the last video, we told you, okay, set a timer every 45 minutes. You want to switch positions. So when you know, okay, I'm going to switch positions, so I can't switch positions, I can still set a timer. Okay, every 45 minutes, I'm going to go to the wall and just stretch for 30 seconds.
Exactly. So again, this is a very good thing to mention. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't stress yourself out if you cannot do all the exercises we showed you. It's important to change positions frequently and to just do little things.
Yeah.
Just do this opener stretch, for example.
Yeah.
So the next one would be the squat position, also T-spine rotation to really get your upper body opened up a little bit more, but also a nice way to relax your hips and to move actively with you, or to use your hip flexors actively to go down. So to go down, we're thinking of a kinetic stretch, so don't just fall into a squat. So we want to engage your hip flexors. Think about lifting your ankles away from the floor. Think of more dorsiflex, and then pull yourself down into a deep squat, most comfortable squat you can. And in this position, you just rotate, squeeze the shoulder into your knee, and rotate up as far as you can. It's just to feel good, to open up, switch the side, hold each side for around 5 to 10 seconds, really squeeze out more. From side to side, you can do each side 3 to 5 times. And then slowly come back up. We don't want to go up just normal. We want to think of pushing the earth away. So push your feet into the ground, engaging the posterior chain, and slowly push yourself actively out of the squat. If the squat is uncomfortable for you, because you cannot deeply squat, just put some books or a yoga block under your butt, and this will help you out, right? So it's not that hard for you, and you don't have to fall back or think of, oh, if I go low, you have to fall back. So this make things very easy.
So if you're in a home office, it's easy to do like a deep squat. Maybe if you're in your office and you don't have the opportunity to just go and sit down into a deep squat, you can still be in your chair and just do like these rotations right here, like still rotate the spine while you're sitting. This is something you can even do when you're working. Okay, 20 seconds, bam, bam, and back to work.
Exactly. Nice. So we hope you liked these little movement break routine
or ideas.
Pieces or ideas, right? It's not a complete routine. You can just pick the best stretches, the best positions out for you, and implement that daily into your lifestyle, into your working habits, right? It's not about getting a full routine, it's about moving more frequently and changing your positions up more frequently, right?
And I also think we have like a desk-bound movement routine.
Yes, we have.
From like last year when the lockdown started and everyone was in home office. So we'll link that for you as well, so you can just check that out if you really have to stay at your desk. There are still things that you can do.
Yes, nice guys. So hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like or subscribe to our channel.
And subscribe to our channel.
And see you guys next time.